While most excursions in Punta Cana guarantee an amazing and fun time, there are a couple of activities you should consider twice if you really want to book them. I will present you 5 of these excursions. I will tell you why they are not for everyone, and the best of all is I will give you the much better alternatives, which are definitely better for most travelers. So stay tuned for this video and don't book your excursions before you watch this video. Hey everyone, my name is Chris. I'm the author of Punta Cana travel blog, and I've been living in the Dominican Republic for many years. I've worked in the tourism industry for more than a decade. I've visited nearly all of the resorts in Punta Cana. I've done all the activities, things to do. I explored waterfalls, hiking, camping at the beach. I did basically everything what you can do in Punta Cana, and I want to share my experience with you. And today we are talking about excursions, and especially the one you should avoid. So let's dive straight into the video. And remember, if you have any questions about Punta Cana, you can always write a comment below the video, and I'm happy to answer any queries you might have. So let's start directly with number 1, and this is the Dolphin Discovery Punta Cana, sometimes also called Swim with the Dolphins, Dolphin Park, Dolphin Adventure Punta Cana. It's basically all the same. The thing what many people don't know is here that those dolphins are living in captivity. This is very important to know because usually people think, okay, let's book a dolphin adventure and we go with the boat to the open ocean. We see dolphins playing and swimming, and we can see them in their natural habitat, but this is not the case here. The Dolphin Adventure is actually not even located in the ocean, or the Dolphin Discovery. It's located in downtown Punta Cana. So there they are living in their swimming pools and basins. They are held there in captivity. But yeah, you should know that they are not in their natural habitat. It's not a natural animal watching activity. So please decide on your own if you want to support this kind of animal cruelty. They usually are getting caught in the open ocean, usually even in other countries, and then getting imported to the Dominican Republic, where they are held, or where they should perform for the people. You can swim with them, you can make photos with them. They show you different figures or form, or like stunts, and this is what they do. So this is not really what they're supposed to do. So please decide on your own if this is what you want to support. The better alternative here is definitely the whale watching. The whale watching is happening in the Samana Bay, and the whales are coming because they want to come there. They come there every winter between January and March, and you can really watch them in their natural habitat. You can watch them giving birth to their babies, growing them up, or basically feeding them. They play, they swim, they do what whales are doing in the open ocean. They are free to roam around. There's no cages, no lines, no fences. It's really the whole Samana Bay, and every year thousands of those whales are coming. Unfortunately, only between January and March. As for all the alternatives I'm presenting here, I put you the link for either for further information or for booking it, depending what makes more sense. I put it in the comments below, so you can read more about it. You can read reviews. You can check my experiences as well. There's a large article about whale watching on Punta Cana travel blog, so feel free to check out more, and I'll do this for all the other alternatives I'm mentioning in this video as well. Number 2 is the shark and stingray encounter in Punta Cana. It has different names. Sometimes swim with the sharks, with the stingrays. It's also called marinarium. And yeah, you can find it everything which is with stingrays, sharks. It's the same thing, because also here they are held in a closed area. It's actually in the ocean. And if you see the photos, you think, wow, I can see stingrays so close and so cool and so many of them. But then once you pass there, it's pretty miserable, because they are living in cages which are maybe, let's say, 50 by 50 feet, for dozens of animals, so it's not a happy life they have. They're also held in captivity. So it's more or less the same story than with the dolphins. And yeah, I think the amazing thing about our nature, about our ocean, about our wildlife is if you see it really in the wild, if you see the wildlife, and this is not happening here. I also read many reviews which first go on an excursion and then they pass the marinarium and they say, oh, we were looking so forward to seeing the stingrays, but when we realized where they are living and how the living conditions are, we felt totally sad, and this might be also happening with you. So again, here, consider twice if you really want to support these practices of keeping animals in captivity, and you can make your own decision. In my opinion, the better alternative here is one of the really amazing snorkeling excursions you can find in Punta Cana. Because there you also see the wildlife. You probably don't see stingrays or sharks, at least not the big sharks. Maybe you see a little reef shark if you're lucky. But you can see other wildlife, other ocean wildlife. Of course, a lot of colorful fishes. You can see turtles. You can see, if you're lucky, other like types of sharks or eels or whatever is in the ocean. There's really a lot to see. Punta Cana snorkeling is, let's say, not the most amazing in the world. Of course, if you have been, let's say, to Egypt, to Maldives, or also to the southern Caribbean, like the Grenadines, there is usually better snorkeling. But the snorkeling excursions in Punta Cana, which go to the Cabeza de Toro Reef and not the Barbaro Reef, they are pretty good. They also help in restoring the reef, because the corals around the world are in danger, they are dying, and they replant corals there, so they do a really good job, and you can see a more or less natural and healthy environment. So after those two excursions, remember, please, if you like this kind of videos, please subscribe to my channel. I would be super happy to do more videos. I'm happy to share all my experiences. Also, if you like the video, give it a thumbs up. This would really help me. And of course, if you have any questions, just feel free to comment below. Number 3, and now we are getting to 3 excursions, which you can do. They are not as, in my opinion, let's say, negative as I told it now, but again, you can decide on your own. But the 3 excursions which are following now, they should be at least double considered for other reasons. So number 3 is Los Ojos Indigenous, or the Indigenous Eyes Ecological Reserve in Punta Cana Resort. And here the reason why you should consider it twice, or to see if it really fits you, is simply the price. What is Los Ojos Indigenous, or the Indigenous Eyes? This is a collection or an area of 13, I think, or 11, let's say around a dozen resorts. Around a dozen of cenotes. So those are these little sinkholes with crystal clear water, which are super nice for swimming, super refreshing, super clean and everything. You might know them from Mexico. There you have plenty of them. I mean, I think the whole Cancun and Yucatan area and Riviera Maya area is full of this cenotes. And usually there you pay like an entrance fee of maximum maybe $5 for such a cenote. And then you can swim and you can have fun. The problem here of the Indigenous Eyes is that they are located on private grounds, and this is why the owner of this private grounds, which is Punta Cana Resort, they want to keep the access pretty exclusive. They don't want to have any masses there, and they probably know that people love cenotes. So this is why they have put the price with a pretty hefty, or they have put the entrance fee with a pretty hefty $80 US price tag. Of course, this can change, but if it changes, it even gets more expensive, because it was $50 for a long time, for many, many years, and now recently, I'm not sure if it was 2023 or 24, they changed it to $80. So you just pay $80 for the entrance and for a 2 hours guided tour with a local guide from the reserve. No drinks, no snacks, no equipment, no transfers, nothing. Really just 2 hours shared guided walk, and you can swim in the cenotes, in the blue holes. So yeah, this is, in my opinion, not really the perfect price-value ratio. It's not the best bang for the buck. But of course, if you want to have an exclusive experience, then this would be it's a beautiful area, definitely. The better alternative, in my opinion, is either the Hoyo Claro or the Blue Lagoon, which is also called Hoyo Azul. Just in short, Hoyo Claro is also a cenote, just one. It's a local cenote, basically. You have to hike there 20-25 minutes. It's a little bit difficult to find, but this is really like the Mexican cenotes. You pay $5 entrance fees, and then you can swim, you can dive a little bit. The water is pretty clear, even though there might be a little bit trash around, unfortunately, but this also depends when you're going. Second alternative is Hoyo Azul, also called Blue Lagoon, which is located at Skate Park Cap Cana, or Skate Park Punta Cana. This one is for me the most beautiful ones of the lagoons, because it's so incredible turquoise. The color is simply mind-blowing. It's also pretty deep, pretty clear. You can jump, swim, whatever you want. This one is also located at private property, and this is why the entrance fee is even higher. It's 119 or 29, but it comes with a whole full day adventure activity package, basically, because Skate Park Cap Cana, maybe I make a separate video about it, is an adventure park, a theme park. You have zip lining included, you have other lagoons included, you have Via Ferrata included, you have artificial waterfalls there, you have a guided culture walk. Everything is included except of food. So you really spend the whole day there and have a lot of different activities, and especially the zip lining is one of the best ones in Punta Cana. So that's why I would consider, even though it's a little bit more expensive, but you have much more services included and the transfer from your resort as well. Number 4 is Salto El Limón, or Waterfall El Limón, or Samana Explorer Tour, call it however you want. There are also different excursions or different names of these excursions. And here the thing is, basically you're going from Punta Cana for a day trip to Samana, a really, really beautiful peninsula. It's absolutely worth to visit. It's super beautiful, one of the most gorgeous areas in the Dominican Republic. But the problem is it's pretty long. You first go 1.5 hours by the bus, then you go 1 hour by boat because you have to cross the bay. Then if you do the waterfall Salto El Limón, you get another half an hour with a kind of safari truck, and then you either hike or take a horse for like 45 minutes to 1 hour, and then you're there, and then you have to go all the way back. You usually do another stop at Cayo Levantado, which is Bacardi Island. But it's a long day on buses, transfers, and everything. And sometimes it's not really the most convenient way. And then the problem is basically you only see Salto El Limón and maybe Bacardi Island. You stop at a little ranch as well, where you get some local impressions. But let's say the amount you spend at the boats, buses, trucks and everything, and the amount you see actually something is not the same. And the difference to Saona Island, where it's basically similar, but there at least the boat trip is already like super beautiful because you go with the boat through the turquoise waters. The boat here in Samana, where you go from the Punta Cana side to the Samana side, is sometimes also a pretty rough ride, and it's not like the clearest or the most beautiful water, so it's not the wow effect. The wow really comes once you're on the Samana Peninsula. And for this, it's a long way. It's a long time in the bus. If you're prepared to it, you might like it, because I have heard or I read positive reviews. So if you're okay with it, absolutely go for it, no problem. But the better alternative here are 2 options. Either you to do a trip by plane, which are sometimes offered. Currently, they are not offered as far as I know, but this can change depending on the season. And the other option is that you simply come back to the Dominican Republic, you plan another holiday, and then you do a road trip to Samana with spending 3-4 nights on this beautiful peninsula. It's 4 hours drive from Punta Cana Airport, just 2 hours drive from Santo Domingo Airport. And once you're in this area, you definitely will not regret it. There are many beautiful accommodation, just a few all-inclusive resorts, very authentic area. And yeah, it's a beautiful area. So a road trip or a multi-day trip and spending there a couple of nights is definitely a super cool thing to do, which I can highly recommend. And then you also have lots of things to do there. So it's definitely worth a separate vacation. And the last thing is number 5, Santo Domingo. The reason why you should at least consider it twice is the same as for Samana, and I also give you the same basically conclusion as for Samana. You can go there to Santo Domingo if you know that it's a long trip by bus, because it is super beautiful. Yes, Santo Domingo and the colonial zone is absolutely worth the visit. It's the cultural highlight of the Dominican Republic. It's so beautiful. But as I say, it's a long trip. If you book it as a shared tour, usually it's 3.5 hours by bus, because you pick up other people at resorts, you make stops at the bathroom, at the shopping stop, and so on. So back and forth, it's like at least 6 to 7 hours in the bus, which is a long day just for, let's say, 2, 3, 4 hours of sightseeing. So usually you leave your resort at 6:30 and you're back at 6:30 in the afternoon or in the evening maybe. This is pretty long, and then you spend a hot day in the city. So yeah, consider twice if you really want to do it. The better alternative here are, again, 2 options. Either book a private tour. They are not so expensive, but this shuffles away a lot of stops from your itinerary. Because if you book it private straight from your resort to the city of Santo Domingo, you can make it in, let's say, 2.5 hours, depending where your resort is located and depending on the traffic in Santo Domingo. And like this, you have more time in the city. You have also a customized itinerary. You don't have to visit souvenir shops, which are maybe preset by the tour operator. You can do your own pace. You can also venture a little bit out of the historic colonial zone. Even so, in this area alone, you can spend days because it's so beautiful. So you have all the flexibility of a private tour. Or second option, a little bit similar to the Samana option, go to Santo Domingo, but spend there at least a night, because also the nightlife in Santo Domingo is so super authentic, so interesting, so vibrant, but not crazy party like. Of course, you can have party, but it's not why you need to go there. But there's so many really cute bars. There are amazing restaurants where you can sit outside, watch people walking by, and so on. And the colonial zone in Santo Domingo is also very safe, even though Santo Domingo as a general is safety-wise, let's say, medium. You have to take care a little bit, but the colonial zone is absolutely safe. So if you plan a 2-day trip, you can even do it super cheap by just taking the public bus, which is like $10 from Punta Cana straight to Santo Domingo. You might need a taxi from the bus station to the center, and also from your hotel to the bus station. But let's say you can easily do it for less than $20 per person. And then you can enjoy the whole colonial city at your own pace and have a lot of time. And then it's really worth the trip. It's around 130 miles, so it's not right next door. All right, those have been the 5 excursions, which you maybe should skip and better book the alternatives I mentioned you, of course, if you decide to do them. Absolutely fine with this. It's not that you're getting scammed or that's absolutely horrible. I just told you why you might not be satisfied if you book it without knowing what's going to happen. If you want more of those videos, please subscribe. And if you have any other questions about excursions, please let me know in the comments. I'm happy to reply. And then I hope to see you with the next video.